Okay, so we'll start with a very basic of your SAP HCM because what I could see that you are completely a fresher. Now let's just
Yes.
start with, and today's session will just keep it very light and very basic so that you also understand and and we cover those basic part of it. Now, what is SAP, Soumya?
It is systems, applications, and products.
Right, it is system application product in data processing.
Yeah, in data processing. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay. Now, you will also see, like certain people, which I have just written SAP, how you pronounce that,
SAP. SAP. We have to pronounce that as SAP only.
right? And why not SAP?
As the every alphabet has some meaning, we must not pronounce it as a single word. We have to use the each character like SAP.
Right. Very good, Soumya. So some basic research, what I believe you have already done.
Yes, from your videos in YouTube and some other trainers videos in
Okay.
it.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, we have uploaded some video which is very basic of, where I explain, the basic of SAP HCM. Yeah, that's true. So, yes, because each character in your SAP, it is like, it's a different a meaning altogether. So that is the reason we don't call it as a SAP. Normally, when I take interview, right, and when I ask people to, to speak that, and when they say as a SAP, right, so I know that, the person is not much experienced because any experienced person will always say that it is SAP. It is
SAP.
not SAP.
Yeah.
So that's a one thing. Another thing it is an ERP.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And what is ERP?
Enterprise resource planning.
Yes, it is enterprise resource planning. What is the purpose of ERP?
Mm, um, as the name suggests, enterprise resource planning means what are the resources our enterprise have. It's all about planning of those, like um,
Yeah,
uh,
normally it is like, like for example, let's suppose there is a company and in that company there would be various department. Like you have a finance department, you have a HR department, you have a operation department, you have a IT department. So what used to happen, like let's suppose when you want some data from a finance department, so it used to be up to finance department whether they used to provide that data or not. And it used to take lots of time. So with
yeah.
the ERP, what has happened that anything which you require, you can take it out from the system itself. That is the whole purpose of enterprise resource planning. You do not have to depend on anybody. Now, obviously, you also need to have an access for those data. Then only you can pull it. If there is no access, you cannot pull it because certain data are meant to be private, which cannot be shared with everybody, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that is the advantage of your ERP. So there are many ERP product, which is like your SuccessFactor is another product. Your another product will be Oracle product, right? Microsoft has launched its own, I think, Cowork or something. It's like, So there are many ERP product which will be available. But out of all these ERP product, the one which is popular, that is known as SAP.
SAP.
SAP
Yeah.
acquires almost like 80% of a market share across the globe. So that is the reason, getting trained into SAP, which means there is a lot of job opportunity which is available. Okay.
Yes. In recent days, is there a reduction in this in that market share percentage for SAP?
You're talking about especially for HCM or you're talking about for SAP?
SAP itself, like,
But there is no
mm,
other competitor to SAP, right?
okay, like when I saw some articles, I just understand that the percentage of its market share is reducing because of the other emerging ERPs. Is it true?
See, those are emerging one, and something, which is already established in the market. See, when you, let's suppose you running a business and you have to search for something for your business, you'll always go for something for your business which is already established in the market, right? Because you don't want to take an
Yes.
experiment with your business and spend lots of money and something, if it does not work out, then again you're going to spend that money into another ERP. So that is the reason people, the first choice will always be for any business owner, that will be SAP, because
Okay.
SAP has been implemented in many company, so they know that it will be safe to go ahead with that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So that is how it will be. Another, since you have also touched base this, now some people they're also saying, that SAP HCM product will not be available after 2027, which is not true.
Okay.
Okay, after 2027, what SAP is saying, they're going to stop the ECC version and they're going to,
I'm not
you will have
sure.
your, they will stop support for ECC version, but you will continue on the HANA version. That is what
Okay.
SAP is saying. SAP is not saying that SAP HCM, they're going to stop it. Now, what is ECC and what is HANA?
They're the types of database servers, I think.
You've done a
So,
good research, Soumya.
somewhat, not completely, just about the basics.
Yeah, that's what
Uh,
I'm saying, because normally all these basics, people they're not aware about.
okay.
And I have to, explain them all these things. So good work. Whatever the research you have done, it's a good work.
Thank
Okay.
you. Frankly speaking, as I'm the fresher, I just want to go through at least the basic details so that I can learn more.
Yes, one should do that. That's one thing. Second thing, Soumya, now because you are getting trained by me, now don't do any Google search. Why you
Okay.
don't do Google search? Because it will be just a waste of time. We're going to see everything in detail and we'll cover everything. Most of the thing we're going to cover it. Doing a Google search will just waste your time and it will not lead you anywhere. All right. Once your
Yeah.
training it is over, then you do the all these Google research and everything, whatever you want. But now, I'll share enough thing, and you will also have your system access where you're going to practice everything. So it will occupy the whole day for you.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
All
Sure,
right.
Ashish. Yeah.
So just to tell you the example, when I was getting trained almost like 20 years before, we used to study 16 to 18 hours.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Good thing about you, it is like whatever the experience we have, like almost of 20 years, you just getting into all these in 2 months' time, right?
True. That is true. Yeah.
So, so the time when we were doing it, there were not many experienced people. And, we used to rely completely on those books. And, you'll not
Oh,
believe it. Each book, they used to be 1,000 pages. And every Monday morning, it used to be on our table. And by looking at it, we used to get fever.
oh my God. Yes, that is true. Yeah, that is
And,
true. And you have to, yeah, and you have to understand the whole thing by yourself, right? Nobody is there to
yes,
explain this.
nobody is there to explain. That's the one thing. Second thing, because in SAP, any documentation you will pick up, one small thing, they will explain that into 1,000 pages. So rather than you getting your concept clear, you end up in confusion.
Yeah, that is true. I agree.
So, so that is the reason I said don't make any more Google search. Don't do anything. If you have any question, you can directly ask me because I'll be the right source for you having 20 years of experience and who can guide you correctly and properly. right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Sure.
Now
Yeah.
we were talking about ESS and we were talking about HANA. HANA both are database. Now, what used to happen, how HANA came into the picture? Almost like, let's suppose 15, 12 years before, you have seen India, you're in US, right?
Now we are in US. Yes.
Sure. All right. Okay, but you would have seen in India, like in India, there's a lot of center for railway ticketing, in case if you have to do the reservation for railway, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Now, obviously, things have gone online, but before what used to happen, there used to be a lot of center for railway, and sometimes, there used to be two to three center in one city itself. And and
Yes.
people, if they have to book the reservation, so they used to go to the railway reservation office, and they used to stand in a big queue, and that is how they used to book their tickets. Now,
Yes.
telling you the other side of it, now imagine there are, you have so many cities in India. Imagine all those cities having a center for railway reservation center. What used to happen, first you have to stand in the line. And another thing, when you stand in a line, what used to happen? Those SAP software, because so many people they have logged in and so many people they are doing the reservation, it used to collapse.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Because those database, it could not support that. So it used to
Okay.
collapse, because India is a huge country, right? Big country it
Yes.
is. So, when constantly it used to collapse, that is how SAP came with the HANA database system,
Okay. Okay.
which is like 10 times faster than your ESS database system. That is the only purpose of SAP HANA.
Okay. Is it ECC or ESS?
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, 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 sorry. It is ECC. Yes,
Okay.
ESS is a different module in your SAP HCM. So it is ECC and your
Fun.
HANA system. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Clear? We'll see
Yeah.
that how you can check in your system. You're going to get trained on the HANA system, not on ECC, because this is what majority of a company they will start using it. So there's no point training you on this.
Okay. Like now also, are the companies using HANA or are they going to
Yes, yes.
use?
If there is anything which is happening, companies are migrating into HANA because see earlier what used to happen, they used to be a less database, but now there is a lot of database also, right? Now imagine your mobile. Earlier, almost like 5, 6 years before, you never used to have so much of pictures and videos, and but now you have so much of pictures and picture. Your mobile database has also increased, right?
True. True.
So same way it is there with the ERP system also. There is a lot of database which has been increased. So we'll continue with the HANA system training, then
Oh,
on the ECC HANA system. Okay, because
uh,
that is what it's a future. However, having said that, in SAP HCM there is not much change.
okay. Okay.
Okay, there is not much change in the configuration for your from ECC to HANA, but the other modules there is a lot of change.
Oh, that's what I'm going to ask. If the that database thing changes, whether the job that we are going to do, like the configurations and all, depends or not. That's what I'm going to ask. Yeah.
Yes. So, all right, other modules, there is a lot of changes, but in SAP HCM, there is not much change, except for the posting part. There is not much change in your when it comes to HANA system. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what my doubt is. If like companies like Walmart or something, as they are using SAP, so
Walmart will always, because they are a big company and they have also lots of financial with them. So such
yes.
companies, they will never remain on old database.
Okay.
Big companies who have the financial support, they will migrate because they will also be facing similar issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Now let's come back to it. You would have often seen while doing your research, Somewhere people they call it as a HCM, and somewhere people they call it as a HR. Why there is a two different terminology?
Yeah, HR is the human resource and HCM is human capital management. I think, yeah.
Yes, but what is a basic difference? See, you telling me what you have read, which is
Yeah.
absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong in that. But you have seen, no, but see, that's what something which you have read. That is absolutely fine. But in a layman language, what do you understand by that?
Yeah, human resource means it's all about like what I understand is like it's all about the staff, like recruitment, all those things, and the remaining things also. But here, human capital management thing means the finance also enters into the picture, I think. Is it? I'm not sure whether it is correct or not.
Uh, See, normally you will see HR people, when in any organization you will see HR people, they're not involved with the capital. Capital means finance.
Yeah.
So you talk
Yes.
about any activity of HR, like when employee joins the company, they give you those joining data sheet, right? There's no capital
Yes.
involved. When employees facing some issue in the organization, when they approaches HR, there is no capital which is involved.
Okay.
When there is some issue and they resolve those issue, there is no capital which is involved, right? When there is a training
Yes.
happening, there is no capital which is involved. But with the introduction of SAP HCM, there is a lot of finance related activity HR people they have to do. What kind of a finance related activity? One thing is payroll has come to HR. Earlier, finance used to do that payroll part.
Okay, like two different departments. And
Two different
now,
departments. Earlier, finance used to do the payroll, but with the introduction of SAP HCM, now HR people has to do all these payroll.
okay, yeah.
All right, so that's a major change which has happened. Another major change which has happened, there is a recruitment activity also. So, this recruitment activity, when they finish hiring somebody, they also negotiate with an applicant, right?
Yes.
So, those there also you will see there is a finance activity which is involved, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Then if I come to training and event management, and with the training and event management, let's suppose if the training is happening by the internal trainer, then it is fine. But if it is happening by the external trainer also you have to train them. You have to also pay them, right?
Yes.
Before you start with. So there also there is a capital which is involved. So that is the reason with introduction of SAP HCM, there is a lot of capital which is involved. So that is the reason it is known as a human capital management.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before we go ahead further, you will also see SAP has two ERP for HR related. One it is SAP HCM and another it is SuccessFactor.
Okay, yeah.
What is the basic difference between these two ERP?
Mm, success factor. Yeah, that I'm not sure. I
You have done so much of research, but the basic research you forgot to do related to your module.
yeah, I think I'm not sure. Success factor is now emerging or is the new one like and then HCM, I think SAP HCM or the
SuccessFactor is a cloud-based solution.
oh okay. Oh yeah.
What what do you mean by cloud-based solution? See, I'm
Uh,
keeping the training. I will keep see, training is a difficult job, Soumya. So I'll keep the training very simple and so that everybody understands, what we are talking. We're not going to use any fancy jargon, which goes above the head.
okay.
All right. So what do you mean by the cloud solution?
Mm, like what I read is cloud solution means there is no need for the customer to have the own hardware and licensed like software.
Server, but no, no, software
Yeah.
you either way require.
Yeah, yeah.
Software you will require, but
Mostly-
hardware part of it, you don't have to keep it, especially the server
Yes,
part.
server part.
And
Yeah.
these server, it is very costly.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, the bigger the organization, the bigger the cost of a server is going to be. And sometimes, these server cost you into crores of rupees, which is a huge amount,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So everybody, they cannot afford the server, which means it's only meant for bigger organization.
yes.
All right, it's meant for bigger organization. So, so you'd have seen, have you gone in any organization and seen, that they have a especially one room where they have kept all the server and they don't allow anybody to enter in that room.
Yes, yes, I
Have you
know
seen
that.
that? Actually, you
Uh,
know that. Have you
yeah.
seen ever such company like this?
Mm, no, I didn't see, but I have the idea that,
Actually, you have an idea. All right. So
yeah.
whenever you see such kind of a setup, that is known as a premise-based solution.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Premise-based solution, it means where you have a server at the premise of a company, which means like if you have to access the SAP HCM software, you will only be accessing when you are at the premise of this particular company. The moment you leave this premise of this company, you will not be able to access that software.
Yes, yes.
All right. Cloud-based means this server is still there, but this server, it is hosted by the SuccessFactor company itself.
Okay.
Okay. And if you need those access, then you have to buy those access and and then they will create the credential and they will provide it to you. That is what the difference between it is. It's a good practice to have a server at your own premises. Why it's a good practice to have a server at your own premises? Because your data is safe,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Your data is safe. We have also seen the recent war between Russia and Ukraine, right? Where
Yes.
Americans they stop all the online payment for Russian. Now imagine if you have a database and where your server is somewhere else and they stop it. Now you're going to face lots of issue and problem.
True.
Correct. So that is the reason server, it is better always to have a server at your own premises. But the middle size company and the smaller size company, they cannot afford server because it is very costly. First, you have to spend the server amount, and then you also have to spend the your server amount and plus the implementation cost, right?
Yes.
Now, implementation also it is not it is also very expensive, right? If you
Okay.
have a lots of other module, it goes around somewhere around 1 crore, and so that is what the price actually it goes. The bigger the organization, bigger the implementation cost it is. And once the implementation it is done, then there is also a support price,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Support price to SAP also, and support price to even the consulting company also. All right, because if you don't provide them a support, then why they going to uh, support your issues and everything, right? So there's a lot of cost which is involved. You can see server implementation, support to SAP, and support to consulting or company
Consulting.
also, right? So there's a
Yeah.
huge amount which is involved, which smaller companies and mid-sized companies they cannot afford it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so that is the reason SAP was looking for a solution which was a cloud base, where smaller companies and mid-sized companies also they can go ahead with the ERP solution.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you give me some example of a cloud-based solution that we use on day-to-day basis?
Gmail.
Yes, Gmail and all the social media sites which we use on the
Yes.
day-to-day basis, right?
Yes. Yes. True.
So
Yeah.
we go ahead and we implement, right? So like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all these are the cloud-based. And especially out of this, Facebook is something one, I'm not sure about you, but you are so, it's very addictive. I know you always keep an eye on Facebook, what other people are doing actually, where they're traveling, where they are not traveling. I to do lot of all these activity. I don't
Okay.
post mine any personal activity on the Facebook, but I generally see, who's doing what.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even those people, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Nowadays, everyone is
Even
like that.
even those people would not be my friend, but it's still I would like to see, what they are doing.
True.
So
Yeah.
so that is the reason, it is very addictive. I mean, at least, I don't spend like hours into Facebook, but at least like if I'm working and if I need a break, right? So I just pick up my mobile and at least for 5, 10 minutes, I'll scroll it down who's doing what.
Okay.
So that is what those cloud-based solution it is. Now the simple example, what you said, it's a Gmail. Now let's suppose you're traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, and you're in the airport. You're using your Gmail account in the mobile. The moment you land up in Mumbai, again, as far as you have an internet connection and you have a credential for Gmail, you can start using a Gmail also there also, right? You don't
Right.
have to carry the server from one Delhi to Mumbai in order to use Gmail, correct?
Yes. Yes, correct.
Such kind of a solution, it is known as a cloud-based solution.
Yes.
Fine? All right. So we have SAP HCM. There are various module into your SAP. Can you name some of the module,
Mm. Modules in SAP like finance.
which is known
Uh,
as a finance is known as a hold on. See, let's also spend some time on each of the module because it is also important you understand what these module do.
yes.
Right? Because see, if I have to train you, I can just come and give the lecture and go away, right? But training is, as I said before, it's a difficult job, and training is not meant for everybody, right? So it is also important you understand all these modules so that tomorrow when you are there in a company, when you're working, at least you don't maybe you don't understand everything, but at least you know the basic of it, that what these modules actually does.
Okay.
Now, in SAP, like financial related, there are two kind of a module. One, it is known as a FI, and another, it is known as a costing. Now, what is the basic difference between FI and costing?
Mm, finance and costing.
Yes.
I'm not sure, but it's like the finance means the whole thing about this. Mm, costing means it regarding the expenses. Is it
Okay.
correct?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah, so finance means the whole thing of what is the income and what are the expenses, all this.
Yes.
But
Very good,
cost,
Soumya. You are not a experienced person, but you know quite a lot of the basic thing, which you, I think, with your research and everything, and that is actually correct. See, we don't have to get into all these detail, right? Finance basically it is like those balance sheet preparation and the profit and loss preparation, right? So that is basically it is done by the finance company. Costing, it is
yeah.
nothing, it's just a costing of a product. So that's it.
Yes.
That this is the only thing we need to know. So
Oh,
tomorrow when you face an issue, you know that whom to approach.
okay.
Okay. And also remember this, people who know finance, they will not know costing. People who know costing, they will not know finance. Very rare consultant you will see who's good into both the thing, finance and costing both.
Okay.
Okay. Then there is another module, which is, okay, give me another module.
Project planning,
Project planning.
uh,
What is
sales,
project planning? Okay, sales, it is known as a SAP SD. What is
sales
a
and
project
distribution.
planning they do?
Project planning, I'm not sure about it completely. I read about that, but I'm not sure.
Sure.
Like I can't explain
Whenever
it.
you whenever you feel it is like, what this is, just go with the terminology. Like it is project planning, right? So you're planning for
Yes.
the project, right?
Yes,
Let's suppose
yes.
you are there in the manufacturing, right? So you have to plan that how those things it will be executed. Let's suppose there is 1,000 shirt requirement has come to you. As a business owner, you're going to plan your strategy, right? How you're going
Right.
to plan this, how from where the raw material is going to come, from where the other thing it will come, button will come, from where the thread will come, right? Because you have to sew all those detail, right? How the cutting will happen, what size it will be, how much size you have to put. So all these it is project planning.
Yes, yes.
SD it is sales related activity. Like
Okay.
you call it as a sales distribution, which is like sales, it's a marketing part of it, right? So
Yes.
that's where you will see all these SAP related activity. Give me another module now.
Mm, mm. HCM project planning and project lifecycle management.
Project lifecycle management. Lifecycle management, it is for everybody. It's lifecycle management. It can happen for HCM also. What is the life cycle?
Okay.
Employee joining and employee till the time it's retired. What is the life cycle for HCM? That is not a module. You have a SAP MM, which is material management.
Material
Now you have done
management.
the planning. So you need the material also, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. So that is your material management. Then you have your SAP GTS. What is GTS? Which is Global Trade Solution. Like let's suppose your product has been manufactured and everything. Now you have to send, you will also like, that to send your product into different country. So that
Okay.
part, it is being taken care by the Global Trade Service.
Okay.
So, like you will see, there are certain countries, where there are certain things which is restricted. So,
Okay.
and you will know that, like when you're exporting, you may and may not be aware about certain thing, whether to export certain thing in those particular country or not to export in those particular country, right? But when you have a SAP system, it will display you all those details, whether you can export certain thing and you cannot export certain thing, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that is what you will take care of into your SAP GTS. Then you will also see, um, which is your SAP CRM, Customer Relationship Management, which basically in the people in the call center and all these companies they use, right? Then you another important module is SAP Basis. What is SAP Basis?
SAP basis is a thing which deals with the landscape of servers and everything.
Yes. How long you have been doing research?
3, 4 days.
Very good. I am 3, 4 days only. You aware about the basic of all these detail. Very good. Yes, the
Thank.
as basis team basically does the landscape and system networking, right? So when those things it has gone technical, it is known as a basis activity. Now these things are also important because your team only will set up the server and everything, right? So we have just discussed about the server, right? So basis
Yes.
team is the only one who will discuss all these servers and everything, and they're going to provide to you, right? If you don't have a server, how are you going to work on SAP HCM, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So your basis team, which is required for SAP HCM, your finance team is also required for SAP HCM because finance team is the one which creates the basic structure of a company. Okay.
Okay.
See, why the finance team will create the basic structure? Because let's suppose if you're doing for one particular company, so that company, what is a company? What is a company code? How many GLs are there, right? So only the finance team will know that. So that is the reason in any organization, finance activity is the first thing to be implemented in the company. Then
Okay.
you go ahead with the rest of the module. Okay, so
Okay.
finance will always be the first company, first module to be implemented because Rest everything, once you have created a company, then only other modules will come into the picture.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
So, so that this is so for HCM, you require finance, you require the basis because they are the people who will create all these activity and and also there is something which is known as a transport request, which we just going to discuss it today. If not today, we'll continue tomorrow because we're just discussing overview. Then there is also something which is known as a ABAP. What is ABAP?
Advanced Business Application Programming Program or program.
Well done, Soumya.
Thank you.
My suggestion it will be, whatever you have done all these research, make it, a note because it is very chance will be very high, after 1 week you'll forget everything. Now, because you have already done all these research, so there is no harm in making the notes, right? Which you can
Yes.
refer at any point of time. It is not only with you, it is with everybody. If you don't practice, even like an experienced person like me who is having a 20 years of experience, see, why do I take training? I take training because it just refresh my whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Otherwise, what happens if you don't practice for certain time, you will forget it.
Yes, true. True. Agree.
So that's what I said. Whatever the research which you have done, there is nothing wrong in just sitting for 1 hour and just make a note of all these detail, whatever you have learned, so that it becomes a, like any point of time in the future, if you're required to refer to those notes, you can always refer to those notes. And with the relating to your SAP HCM, we are already writing everything into your Excel sheet, which can also work as a note for you. And this sheet
Okay.
will share it once we finish up with the complete training. I'll share it so that, and if you have to see that, what all detail we have covered, so this will serve as those purpose. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Acha. You just told me the full form of ABAP, but basically, what is the purpose of ABAP?
Mhm. What I understand is that all this, uh, it's like the technical part of the SAP,
Hmm.
like,
See, every system, every technology rather, every technology is written into some language,
yes,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So, like for example, you're using your mobile. There is some language in which it has been coded. There is you're using a laptop. There is something some language in which laptop is also coded, right?
yes,
Especially the
yes,
OS, which is the operating system. So, like I'm using the operating system which is Windows. So in that case, there is some coding which has been done. So SAP follows the ABAP language. It's a language.
yeah, yeah. It is a programming language. Yes.
It is ABAP is a language. Acha, in which language SuccessFactor is written?
I don't know.
Java language.
Oh, okay.
So now because you were completely a fresher, I did not ask you the question. You'll not believe when I take this session and when I ask us like, in which language SAP is written, many people they say it is written in English.
Okay.
English is a English is a language for human. And
Yes.
anyway, English is not spoken in many countries. It is just spoken, I think, in 7, 8 countries. Rest of the people, they don't speak English.
Yes.
So more than English, people they speak Hindi across the globe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So if will be any issue which is come, which is like any customization or any enhancement, do not worry. What is customization and what is enhancement? We're going to discuss it. But I don't think so
Okay.
we'll be able to do that today. Well, probably in the tomorrow session we'll discuss it. So if there is any customization or any configuration which has to happen, how you will do that?
Yeah, we had to like write the programs. Some.
Yes, who will
using
write the
us.
program? ABAPer will write the program because they are ABAPer
Yeah.
are the people who understand the coding language of SAP, right?
SAP. Yes. Yeah.
Similarly, if there is like if there is any technical thing which is required into SuccessFactor, you'll require a Java technical person.
Java. Okay.
All right, because they are the one who's going to do all these coding. Actually, there are many other modules also. We're not discussing about the module, but the reason I just wanted to discuss because I wanted to tell you about these module. Then there are various sub-module also. Each
Yes.
of the module you will see there will be a sub-module, but we are not discussing any of these sub-module except for SAP HCM related. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so so let me know which sub-module you know in SAP HCM.
Payroll,
Payroll,
benefits,
benefit, yes.
hmm, garnishments,
Garnishment, okay.
organizational management.
Yes, organization management. This is one module. But what is the purpose of organization management?
Mm, it's all about the hierarchy of the positions in a
Yes, very
company
good.
and
The basic
yeah.
purpose of organization management is to do your, it just creates a structure for a company. See, every organization, there'll be a structure, whether it's a big company or it's a small company. They will all have their structure, like basically who's reporting to whom and who's not reporting to whom, right?
Yes, yes.
So when you have those structure, see, basically organization management is only required in the organization when you implementing ESS. All right, ESS is employee self-service,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of a intranet, which we'll just discuss it in another. I think I'm not sure if we'll get time to today. So that is the only
Mhm.
purpose if you're implementing ESS, because in ESS only you require who's reporting to whom. Otherwise, there is no much use of organization management. But yes, you can also check your reporting structure. See, nowadays, when you buy a package, along with the package, all the modules comes from the SAP. Uh, so, but earlier, what used to happen, like each of the module, you have to pay to SAP.
Okay.
All right, like organization management, you're paying separately, benefit you're paying separately. So that is how it used to happen. But uh, so certain times, people they used to skip also certain module because obviously they're paying to them, right? But now, as I said, when you buy a package, the entire module it comes along with the package. So because now it is free, so everybody go ahead with OMP and every module. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Another module after your organization management, it is personal administration. Now, what is the purpose of personal administration?
It is all the data about the employees' details and
Yes, it is all about the
information.
data of an employee, but personal administration is just not restricted to personal, just only the data of an employee. There is a whole lot of activity happens in personal administration, like your screen modification, then you have your action, your dynamic action, then how to do all these, how to configure all these, right? So there is a lot of activity happens in personal administration. Okay.
Okay,
Then you have your time management.
yeah. Time
Now,
management.
time management basically is being divided into two major sections. One, it is known as a positive time management, and another, it is known as a negative time management. What is the difference between positive time management and negative time management?
Mm, Positive time management is like the kind of attendance, like the number of hours employee works and all. And negative is all about the absence or leaves.
Right.
Mm,
No, no,
which
absence and leave, it will also come into positive time management.
positive.
But
Okay.
yes, in positive time management, when you're capturing time in and time out of an
Okay.
employee, like what time he has come, what time is he's out, and when he has taken a break, when he has not taken a break, right? So all these
Okay.
detail, it will come into the positive time management. Positive time management, it's a bit difficult to configure because there is a lot of PCR and schema which gets involved into it. Okay.
Okay.
And with the
Yeah.
negative time management, like you don't have to capture time in and time out. If you do not maintain anything into the system will assume that employee has been present, which means, like, let's suppose if you're working from 9 to 6. So if you mention a particular time, you will only mention in the negative time management an employee has been missing for certain hour or has been absent. When you maintain that record, then only system understand that employee has been missing and this is a time that he is not available, right? So that is known as a negative time, which means you're only capturing the deviation.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you capture the deviation, this is basically uh these modules are simple module. No, negative time management is a simple module as compared to positive because here there is no your PCR and schema which is involved. What is PCR and schema? We'll see the basic of PCR and schema with the time management also and with the payroll also. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Then you have a payroll. Now, payroll, it is like, you have your earnings, you have a deduction, you have your taxes, right? Strategy
Yes.
deductions. So payroll is basically, it's like, whatever it's the net payment to an employee, that is known
Yes.
as a payroll part of it. Okay, where employee like earnings minus deduction minus taxes minus statutory deductions, whatever the amount is employee is getting, that is basically it is known as a payroll.
Pero-
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Then apart from a payroll, you also have a benefit. What is benefit?
Uh, Benefits or all those things like the health insurance and
Yes,
sa- savings.
yes, your health insurance and your there are various things, right? So these modules it will be covered into benefit. Okay, so
Okay.
we're going to see
Yeah.
all those detail into the benefit. And then you have a garnishment. What is garnishment?
Mm. I'm not sure.
Garnishment is like when you're making the uh it's basically it's a support module which you're supporting to some third party. Like for example, you will see, let's suppose there is an employee A who has taken a loan for 20,000 USD dollar and he was working in New York. Now he got a job in California. He paid 10,000 USD dollar, but 10,000 USD dollar was still pending. He got a job in California and he shifted to California.
Okay.
Assuming that now how the company is going to track it, he stops paying. So in such case, bank will approach to the court and the court will order with the social security number, just figure it out where that employee is. And with that, they will figure it out that you are into California. And then they will not approach to you, they will approach to the company and they will explain to the HR that this is the whole thing. This employee has taken this particular loan and is not paying. Now, HR of that company will send you an email stating that this is the whole detail which has come up. Now, this company will deduct certain part of your salary and pay to the bank now. So, such kind of a detail, it is known as a garnishment.
Okay. Yeah.
In garnishment is not only just this garnishment, it can also be various other activity. Like for example, husband wife they divorce, they have a child to take care of it, right? And husband has to
Yeah.
pay some alimony to a wife and to children.
Right.
So that is also known as a garnishment. So any kind of a third party support which you are doing, that is known as a garnishment. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.